Hello, welcome back to another video um, of TPB 2020s, Bahasa Inggris TPB 2020s with me, Pak Randy. I hope you're all well. And this is the last video in this series before the final test next week. In this video, we will be talking about two possible methods of listening that you can use in the TOEFL test, especially in Part C, where you'll find longer talks. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let me turn down the volume of the music first. Right. Okay. So, now, as you have already learned, you will find longer talks in Part C of the listening comprehension section. And so it is easier to lose focus, especially if you have a short attention span. And it is more difficult to be able to get as much as information that you need to answer the questions following the talk. And what makes it more difficult is that you don't have the luxury of taking notes while you listen. At least in the paper-based TOEFL, you're not allowed to take notes. And some of you might find it easier to just listen to the talk, right? So the first method is that you can just listen to the talk and ignore the answers. Um, well, this method um, requires a great deal of attention, okay? And this might work especially for you who find reading while listening at the same time is distracting and you want to focus on you want to focus hearing on the talk only. And again, this method requires a great deal of attention. Well, some people actually they need to close their eyes in order to concentrate, in order to focus on listening the talk. Okay, so this method might work for you, but some of you might actually prefer the other method, which um, where you actually read the options as you listen. And this method actually could help you anticipate the questions. Okay. So it is possible to read along while you listen to the talk because the questions are actually given in order. So you don't have to worry about the organization of information. Now let's take a look at the example. Now we will try both methods and find out which one that works best for you. Let's begin with the first method. Okay. In the next slide, I want you to listen to the audio and do not take notes and try to get as much information that you can. Okay. Here we go.
The Great Chicago Fire began on October 8, 1871, and, according to legend, began when a cow knocked over a lantern in Mrs. O'Leary's barn. No matter how it began, it was a disastrous fire. The preceding summer had been exceedingly dry in the Chicago area, and the extreme dryness accompanied by Chicago's infamous winds created an inferno that destroyed 18,000 buildings and killed more than 300 people before it was extinguished the following day.
So that's the audio. Now, um, did you get any of the information? The most important information. Now, let's try to listen to the audio again, but this time, try to read the options as you listen. And let's see whether it helps you anticipate the questions. Here we go.
The Great Chicago Fire began on October 8, 1871, and, according to legend, began when a cow knocked over a lantern in Mrs. O'Leary's barn. No matter how it began, it was a disastrous fire. The preceding summer had been exceedingly dry in the Chicago area, and the extreme dryness, accompanied by Chicago's infamous winds, created an inferno that destroyed 18,000 buildings and killed more than 300 people before it was extinguished the following day.
Right. So as you listen and read the options at the same time, you can actually make some guesses as to what the questions will be about. And as you can see here, number one, option A, in a barn, option B, in Mrs. Oller's home, in a cow pasture. So you can see here that the options suggest that the question might probably about um, where the fire, I mean the Chicago fire began, or yeah, it's a where question, obviously. And number two, as you can see here from the options, the first option is the dry weather prior to the fire made it worse. It happened during the summer. Chicago winds made it worse. Yeah, so we can see here the options might suggest that the question will be about um, things that are not true, or maybe the other way around. Maybe things are the things that are true according to the talk. Okay, so this method actually, for me personally, this method works better because we can anticipate the questions before we hear the um, the question in the audio. Now, these are the questions for number one and two. As you can see here, number one, according to legend, where did the Great Chicago Fire begin? Okay, number one, it's a where question. So by looking at the options, as we did earlier, we can actually mm, predict what the questions will be about, right? So now this is the transcript of the audio. As we can see that um, for number one, in the audio, we hear that the fire began in Mrs. Oller's barn. Okay, it was the first formation mentioned in the audio when a cow knocked over a lantern in Mrs. Oller's barn. So it is obvious that the correct answer for number one is A, in the barn. And as for number two, we know that the question um, will be about uh, information that is not true about the Great Chicago Fire, according to the talk. Now we know that it was mentioned that the preceding summer had been exceedingly dry in the Chicago area. So if you happen to hear this word, the preceding summer, okay, because preceding means that um, something that comes before. So we know that the fire took place after summer, after the summer of 1871. So we know that the correct answer for number two is B. It happened during the summer. This is incorrect. I mean, this is incorrect. This is incorrect information according to the talk. So it is important for you to find out which method that works best for you. Okay, actually, um, if you find reading and listening at the same time distracting, then you should go for the first method. Okay, you should just listen to the audio, to the talk in the audio, and try to concentrate. Try not to get distracted. And if you can actually read while you listen, then you should go for the other method, which actually could help you anticipate the questions, right? So um, you should proceed to exercise 27 after this. And again, if you have any questions, you can email me. Yeah, I guess that's it for today. Since this is the last video, so I wish you good luck for the final test next week. Okay, bye.